The Viggen is my most favorite aircraft to ever come into existence, and in War Thunder that means, well, very little to it. The JA37C Viggen is a interesting fighter, to say the least. It was introduced during a time in which stuff like it was being pushed out already of the meta in favor of stuff to things like the S16, for example, MiG-29, the F-15, the Gripen, as well as the SU-27. Now, this Viggen, just like all the other Viggens, does get post-Doppler radar, meaning that you'll have a really decent / iffy time locking targets, but you also have TWS mode at 11.0, which if you play sim, then you already know how busted TWS mode can be. But with its weapon set, that really doesn't mean anything, and its flight performance is iffy at best. Seek made a video talking about the Phantom in today's meta, and he said that the Viggen has better flight performance than the Phantom, which in terms of dogfighting a Phantom, well, yeah, you obviously have superior flight performance. It's not the best dogfighter. The Viggen, even though it is a delta wing, cannot pull hard at all, really. It has a hard time actually turning, and when you do eventually outrate someone, well, guess what? You don't have any speed, and once you lose speed out of a turn, the engine just simply cannot keep up and has a hard time regaining that speed. The Viggen is also not the fastest thing at its BR, even though you are a delta wing. Things like the F-16, MiG-29, MiG-23s, some F-5s, some Phantoms can actually catch you on the deck for a good couple of seconds before you're actually able to slowly but surely pull away from them. Now, the weapon kit that the Viggen has access to is very underwhelming at 11.0, especially since you don't really get to fight things at your own battle rating. It's more of, well, you can fight some things, but oh yeah, here's the Tomcat Bravo, here's the MiG-29, and here's the F-16 and the Yak-41 that you'll have to fight. Good luck on that. And so at this bracket, the kit that you get isn't the best. The IR missiles are very iffy. They're slow compared to everything else. They don't have any IRCCM like the Mirage 2000s, which you will see a lot of, by the way. Your radar missiles, while they can get kills, they're not as reliable as they should. They always miss the most easiest of shots, or they simply have a tendency to fly straight through a target, only taking off a piece of their elevator while the target simply just flies away. The gun that you get, while it does hit hard, is really kind of wonky to use because the aircraft has a tendency to wobble all over the place, especially if you get done maneuvering or you're getting out of a turn to chase down the target. It has a tendency to wobble. You also can't see your tracers, and that is because you get a radar gun sight, which radar gun sights in of themselves are not as reliable as they should be. Now, when it comes to flying the Viggen stock, oh my god, where do I begin? Where do I begin? First of all, you are a flying brick. That's how bad it is. The only weapons you get access to is 2 AIM-9Ps, and then after that you get access to the 4 AIM-9Bs, which means you can carry 2 AIM-9Ps and 3 AIM-9Bs. Now, in comparison, things around this BR start getting stuff like AIM-9L stock or an R60M stock, which can really compete at this BR and beyond. No matter what people say about these types of missiles not being able to compete in the higher echelons of the game, they absolutely can. The stock grind on the Viggen was so painful that I actually had to take it into sim in order to get everything unlocked for this thing. That's how bad it is in realistic battles. Now, if you came up and asked me, would you rather fly a Phantom stock or the Viggen stock? Well, I'm going to choose the Viggen just simply because even though you are a flying brick, even though you're not the fastest, even though you can't regain that speed once you lost it after a while, you're still more maneuverable than a Phantom stock, right? That's just how it is. That's just how Mafia works. I also did fail to mention that you do get large caliber countermeasures. You get 48 of these bad boys, and in lower echelons of the game, when you get into down tiers, they're pretty funny because you have F5Cs that get really annoyed when their little weak missile doesn't track, even though you have an afterburner on and you pop these flares. In the higher echelons of the game, these countermeasures don't matter at all because, you know, R73s, AIM-9Ms, they exist, and Magic 2s, those things exist, which can absolutely wipe the floor with you and don't care about your large caliber countermeasures, which does suck. The next Viggen after this one, however, the last one, gives you the BOL system, which gives you almost 400 of these bad boys of the large caliber countermeasures. When they work, they absolutely are amazing. But again, you only have 48 and they don't actually last as long as you think they do, even if you do have them set to pop and single. Around the 11.0 bracket, you start to need 60 countermeasures plus to even get anywhere. That's just how it is, because again, things start getting IRCCM and you need a lot of countermeasures just to spoof those types of missiles. All right, enough of me ragging on the Viggen. Are there any positives to this aircraft? Well, yes. In terms of sim, you actually see aircraft that sit at a BR of 10.7. Not a whole lot of people, and I don't know why, but not a whole lot of people actually bring out the maximum tier aircraft, which is 11.7, meaning there are a lot of times where you just have free reign over everyone. There have been many of times where I walked away of a sim game with 20 kills in the Viggen because people just refuse to bring in anything else that isn't at that maximum BR bracket. And in terms of realistic battles, having that TWS radar does actually help a lot, because believe it or not, when someone's pinged up on TWS mode, they actually render in a lot faster than if you didn't have anyone tracked or anyone locked, which is weird, but that's just how it works. As soon as you're low on fuel, because this thing, believe it or not, does burn through a lot of fuel, once you start hitting that sweet spot in terms of low fuel, you will become very, very maneuverable, which you are able to pretty much dogfight anything that comes into existence, albeit within reason. Of course, you can't continuously be dogfighting, but yeah. Lastly, let's talk about the BR placement that this thing should be at, should or should not be at. In all actuality, this Viggen just needs to stop seeing stuff like the F-16. It needs to stop seeing the MiG-29s. It needs to stop seeing the Tomcat Bravos, right? It needs to stop seeing the Mirage 2000s, because this aircraft just simply cannot handle those aircraft, right? The Viggen is not as agile or as fast or as advanced as those aircraft. In all reality, the Viggen, in my opinion, should sit at 10.7. If Gaijin does not want to move the Viggen down to 10.7 because the JA37 is actually going down in the next update, then move the F-16, the F-20, the Tomcat Bravo, the Mirage 2000s, you know, stuff like that up, decompress that BR bracket, because it's just simply not fun to fight things that are just more advanced than you, faster than you, can pull harder than you, has more weapons than you, can do what you can do but better. It's just not fun anymore. Now, I'm not saying this Viggen is a bad aircraft, because it's not. It's just its potential is being held back by those aircraft, and I just wish that Gaijin could figure out how to decompress the BRs without screwing over aircraft like this, because it's actually very fun to fly this aircraft, but you don't see a lot of people flying it because of the reasons I just pointed out. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the video. Before I let you all go for today, I just want to explain the reason why I haven't been uploading as much as I should be, and that's because, well, my allergies. My allergies have been making it really difficult for me to do anything. It's been hard for me to breathe. It's been hard for me to do exercises. It's just been really difficult for me all the way around. I've also just been getting sick and tired of getting little to no RP for all my efforts in War Thunder, and so I've been playing a lot more DCS, you know, trying to get back into that, as well as flying with my friends in DCS and just doing all sorts of stupid stuff in DCS. But that's going to be it. If you liked today's video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it does help out the channel tremendously. We are on our way to 900 subscribers. If we can reach that goal, that means so much to me. As always, it's been your host Eclipse, while slowly getting back into War Thunder, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.